Om Ganeshaya Namah. Har Mahadeva Har. Jai Somnath Mahadev. Jai Somaya. Today I am going to present before you in the English language a true and historical incident from life of the great warrior Veer Hamirji Gohil. Please listen to it carefully and peacefully. The history of Veer Hamirji Gohil. Veer Hamirji Gohil is remembered as one of the bravest warriors of Gujarat and a symbol of supreme sacrifice for faith, for Lord Shiva temple, motherland, Hindu dharma and honor. His story is closely associated with defense of sacred Somnath temple, one of the most revered Hindu temples in India, Bharat. In the western lands of Gujarat, a young Rajput chieftain, Veer Hamirji Gohil, was born into Gohil Rajput clan, a proud warrior lineage that ruled parts of Gohilwad, now Amreli, present-day Saurashtra region of Gujarat in India, Bharat. It is located there. The Gohil were known for their valor, loyalty to Dharma, and unwavering resistance against foreign invasions. The Arthila King Bhimji Gohil sired three sons, Dudaji, Arjanji, and Hamirji. Among the three sons, Dudaji oversaw Arthila and Lathi Gadi. Here Gadi means small kingdom. Arjanji governed 11 villages in Gadadi. Here Gadadi is a place name which consists 11 villages at that time and also a name of small kingdom. And Hamirji, the youngest son, Hamirji was responsible for Samadhyala, a name of small kingdom as Samadhyala of Gujarat in India, Bharat, who famously sacrificed his defending the Somnath temple in 1999, uniting local forces and fighting valiantly until his last breath. He has been honored by his memorial stone statue at the temple. His story highlights themes of Hindu resistance against Turkic invasions, valor and devotion to faith. From a young age, Hamirji was trained in warfare, horse riding, sword fighting, archery and battlefield strategy. Along with physical strength, he was deeply influenced by Hindu values, devotion to Lord Shiva and the belief that protecting one's faith and land was the highest duty of Kshatriya, a name of fighter caste of Hindus who were ruling the most part of India's Bharat 800 years ago and in some part of India thereafter too. That is the Kshatriya. We can say like that. Arjanji and Hamirji were deeply great faith in each other. One day, a fight broke out between two risters in Gadadi, Darbargarh. One rister belonged to the Arjanji and the other belonged to Hamirji. Both the risters were bleeding. Both the parties were challenging each other. Here, Darbargarh means the place where the king and forces of Rajput kings were getting together. It happened that Arjanji Richter ran away from the ground. Seeing his Richter defeated, Arjanji got angry and stood up and started hitting Hamirji Richter on the head with a stick. Seeing the chicken being beaten, Hamirji started saying, "Brother, this is called a fight. If one wins, the other loses. There is no need to get angry. And if you are angry, why don't you beat me? What is the fault of the poor chicken?" Here, hearing this, Arjanji got angry and told Hamirji that you too have a temper. Go get out and don't stay till that the reason till wherever you heard my name from mouth of the people. Thus, Arjanji gave his younger brother a warning. At that time, Hamirji was deeply shocked. Thus, situation became unwell. Hamirji had about 200 male Rajput companions. We also can say them as soldiers. Thus, after a minor quarrel with his brother, he left his home and he went to Marwar region of Rajasthan in India, Bharat, along with his 200 soldiers. At that time, the throne Delhi was ruled by Muhammad Tughlaq II. After the defeat of his Suba Samsuddin in Junagadh, the emperor replaced him and appointed Jafar Khan as the Suba of Gujarat. Jafar Khan was originally from Rajasthan, but over the time he became an independent emperor of Gujarat from the Suba. Here Suba means an appointment which has been appointed by a king for any part of his kingdom, for making the rule simple and smoothly, which the part of his kingdom was very far away from his kingdom. We can say as Secretary General of a king too. Therefore, he established the imperial capital in Somnath. He appointed a Muslim whose name was Rasul Khan as the Thanedar of Somnath. Jafar Khan was a staunch opponent of idol worship of Lord Shiva. He had his eyes on the Somnath temple because the Hindu people had great faith in it. Rasul Khan was being ordered by Jafar Khan not to allow a large number of Hindus together in the temple. At that time, the Shivratri fair was being held. Here Shivratri means marriage day ceremony of Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati is being celebrated by the Hindus as a festival every year. Rasul Khan and his men started beating and dispersing the people. This made matters worse and the people got agitated and killed Rasul Khan along with his family and men. When Jafar Khan heard this news, became furious and his hands were clenched to crush Sorat. Here Sorat means one region of Saurashtra of Gujarat in India, Bharat, and Somnath temple comes under in Sorat region of Saurashtra. At that time, fanaticism, idol worship, the defeat of Samsuddin, the death of Rasul Khan, and many other things were piercing his heart like thorns. Thus, Jafar Khan decided to attack Sorat. He broke down the gates of fort with the help of elephants he had brought with him. The roaring cannon is being dragged and he marched to attack the Somnath temple with an army of Kabuli, Makrani, Afghan and Pathani soldiers. Around the end of the 13th century, around 1299, 1300 AD, news spread across Gujarat that the army of Alauddin Khilji, led by generals, was advancing towards Somnath. The temple had already been attacked multiple times in earlier century and stood as a powerful symbol of Hindu spirit. Before the attack on Somnath, Arjanji had sent a Gadvi named Mansur from Gadhari of Saurashtra to bring Amirji back to Arthila kingdom. Amirji met him in Marwar, Rajasthan. After his departure from home, Amirji was moved to hear that Arjanji was very sad in separation. Tears flowed from his eyes and about 200 Rajputs who were with him took the path to Gadhari with horses. As soon as Amirji reached Gadhari, there was spread joy and happiness in the Gohil clan. Dudaji came from Arthila, uncle Varsang Devji came from Thamel. Arjanji did not come. He was at Junagadh. So Dudaji and his wife brought Amirji to Arthila. Thus, they spent their days with their friends and their elder brother there in Arthila. Amirji did not even know that Jafar Khan was coming along with his troops for attacking to Somnath temple. And one day, Amirji came to the Darbargarh after playing in the jungle with friends like Chhatrapal Sarvaiya, Patalji Bhati, Sahadevji Solanki, and Nanji Maharaj, who is from Sihor village. Famished, Veer Amirji and his companion hurried towards the dining hall. There, his Bhabi, who was his elder brother Dudaji's wife, remarked casually, "Why such haste, Devarji?" Here, Bhabi means sister-in-law on elder brother's wife. I use Bhabi word Gujarati and Hindi instead of sister-in-law. And Devarji means on husband's younger brother. I use Devarji word in this story. Are you in hurry to rescue Somaya? Here, alias name as Somaya used for Lord Shiva of Somnath temple? Surprised, Hamirji asked, "Why would you say that? Is Somaya is in danger?" She then revealed the grim news. The Sultan's forces were marching towards Somnath. The imperial army led by Jafar Khan was advancing with intent of demolishing the sacred Somnath temple. Anguish was evident in her voice. Veer Hamirji responded with anguish and fire, "Is there no Rajput who will rise and offer his life for Somaya? The Rajputs are unmatched in valor, and it seems no one is willing to step forward to protect Somaya. Will the armies of the infidels dare to attack Mahadev when confronted by Rajput? Or has the Rajput spirit of martyrdom vanished?" She replied firmly, "This is no hunting expedition. We must go to save the temple of Lord Shankar from the Jabbar army. If this thought stirs your blood, then step on your weapons. Hamirji, are you not a Rajput too? You may go." Her words struck Hamirji like a thunderbolt. He stood motionless, his entire body being consumed by righteous fury. Turning to her, he declared, "Tell my two brothers that Hamirji has set out for Jajera Johar. I am going to save the holy temple of Somnath." Here, Jajera Johar means the last deadly fight of the life against the enemy, in which the death is certain. The queen of Dudaji tried repeatedly to dissuade him, but Hamirji remained resolute. He requested her not to send anyone after him to persuade him. Soon thereafter, Hamirji set out towards Somnath with nearly 200 willing companions. At a time when the people were paralyzed by a fear, when kingdoms were torn apart by internal strife, and when answering that call to war seemed impossible, Hamirji chose the path of sacrifice. Prepared to face death, he marched toward the sacred shrine of Somaya. For Veer Hamirji Gohil, the threat to Somnath was not merely a military danger, it was an assault on Somnath Dharma itself. Legend says that Hamirji took a solemn vow before Lord Shiva, "As long as there is breath in my body, no enemy shall desecrate Somnath without facing my sword." Enraged, Hamirji vowed, "Whether anyone comes or not with me, but I will go to protect the Somnath temple definitely." He gathered a small force of loyal warriors, mostly Rajputs and other local fighters of different castes of Hindu dharmas from Gujarat, likewise Rabari, Bharwad, Ahir and Mer. They knew very well that the enemy army was massive and well equipped. While they were few in number, yet none hesitated, for they believed that death in defense of Dharma is greater than life in submission. And together they marched to Somnath. As they awaited the Sultan's forces, the tension was palpable. The priests and citizens of nearby towns stood on high alert. Hamirji was walking towards Somnath with 200 soldiers like friends as well as companions. On the way, a Nesdu came. Here a small simple house of a place residence where generally tribal peoples, poor people or those living in forest areas reside. A dwelling unit located away from village and cities close to nature, that is called the Nesdu. It must have been midnight. There was a sound of music everywhere. There, the sound of a marasya was heard piercing the night. An older lady of Charan caste of Hindu was singing marasya in the hut. There, here marasya means songs of death, which have been sung in Gujarat by some women after the death of anybody. Hearing the crying voice of that woman, even the wind stopped. Hamirji stopped and went to the woman and asked, "Mother, whose marasya were singing?" That woman replied, "I am widower and also a mother. I was singing the Marasya of my son. The young son had just died a fortnight ago. Hearing this, Hamirji said to the lady, Mother, if you are pampering your son even after his death, so will you sing my Marasya? I want to hear it. That lady's name was Lakhabai Charan. She said to him, Ma Bap, what did you say? Shall I sing your Marasya? When will I be got free from this sin? By singing your Marasya? Here, Ma Bap, word used for giving someone lovingly respect for his fantastic talk. Here, Ma Bap means mother and father, means parents. So Hamirji said, yes, we are going to bloodbath. We have set out to visit Somaya's temple, and for the protecting of it, there is no way we can return alive from this path. After that, Hamirji told her everything from his perspective. I, Lakhabai Charan, was amazed by the bravery of young Rajput. Here, I, Lakhabai and Lakhabai both means are same. Most probably used I word for the old lady in Charan caste of Hindus in Gujarat. I means just mother or mother-like lady. She blessed him from the bottom of her heart. Then she said, Son Hamirji, are you married? Hamirji replied, No. Then I said, So whoever you meet on the way, marry her. Will a bachelor marry a nymph in the desert? Hearing this, Hamirji said, But I, who will marry their daughter to us? Because we are going to bloodbath and certainly will die. Thus, Hamirji expressed his views. I said to Hamirji, Ma Bap, if someone on this road is pleased with your bravery and marries you, so you would have to not refuse to marry. Follow my advice, son. Having said this, I, Lakhabai, sat in Damni and set off on the road to Somnath. Here, Damni means horse cart. A Lakhabai tell Hamirji, I will reach to Somnath before you and wait there. On the way from there, Dronagat came. Vegdaji used to call as Bil Sardar of Gir. That reason, 300 bills would stay ready with him, and he could gather 150 bills warriors at his one call. From the gate to the Sarod hill near Sihor, Vegdaji's arrows would fly. Here, Gir, Sarod and Sihor are the name of the places. All the bills respected Vegdaji's. All the bills respected Somnath with very much honor and accepted the authority of the king of Junagadh. Here, Bills is a tribal of. Here, Bill is one of the caste of tribal in Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh in India, Bharat. Vegdaji had a young daughter. Her name was Rajbai. Once a Jetfa Rajput was going on a pilgrimage to Tulsi Syam. Here, Tulsi Syam, a name of pilgrim near the Junagadh town. On the way, Vegda stopped him. There was a quarrel between the Bills and the Rajput. That Jetfa Rajput came near to death, but on his death, he handed over his younger daughter to Vegda and recommended that brother to grow this daughter, and when she reached adulthood, find a well-cultured Rajput and get her married. Thus, accepting his word, Vegda grown her as if she were his own daughter. She had also become young now, so at that time, he stopped Lakhabai's Damni, and Lakhabai stayed there for one day. Vegdaji asked about the whereabouts of a good Rajput for his daughter. So Lakhabai said to Vegdaji, Father, go away. Hamirji has gone to the aid of Lathio Rajput, Lathio Somaya, not Lathio Rajput, but Lathio Somaya. And he is a well-cultured Rajput. He will not refuse to you, so as take Rajbai in your companion. On the advice of I Lakbai, Vegda Bill kept near Kalwa Ness in the Gir with his 300 arrows bearing bills. Hamirji no longer had any attachment because by his heart and his mind he had already offered his head to Somnath. Thus, moving forward, He came to Kalwa Ness. The river Singwedo flows right next to the Ness. Here Ness means camp. Hamirji and his companions bathed in that river. While bathing, they played around. They have gone out something far away in the river. When they came out, the horses were missing. Hamirji sent his men to look at the nearby hill. The men came and informed that there was a camp a little distance away and horses were grazing there. Everyone came in droves to the Bhil camp. Vegda Bhil came forward. He asked for identification. Is it Hamirji Gohil himself? We are waiting for you. Hamirji asked, who are you? Vegda Bhil answered, Hamirji. As his name is Vegda Bhil. So Hamirji said, oh, you brave Bhil, the voice of the Gir, the great work has been done. You have met us in path going to the Somnath temple. Vegda insisted and kept Hamirji away from his friends for 2 days. During that time, he privately talked to Rajbai about Hamirji and asked her to get him married if she liked it. Thus, the beautiful girl of the Jetwa clan felt ashamed. She agreed with a mute voice. Vegda talked to Hamirji. Hamirji agreed. Hamirji wedding with Rajbai was celebrated. Drums and flutes were played loudly. The young men were going to save Lord Shiva temple of Somnath. Those who were in the forest filled the hills with the joy, and thus Hamirji wedding took place on the way to the Somnath temple without the presence of any of his family members. Written history is full of its witnesses. Thus, after the wedding in the Gir forest, the very next day, they set off for Somnath. Vegdaji and his Bhil companions also set out. With them, Mansur Gadvi, who had come with Hamirji from Arthila, is also roaming around, collecting the people in streets, chowks, and the village. They prepared young men from the caste of Hindus dharmas like Rajput, Kathi, Ahir, Mer, Bharwal, and Rabari to come with them and fight for the saving of Somnath temple against the Jafar Khan's army. Thus, they reached the Somnath temple, taking the warriors as they found on the way. Vegdaji gets news of Jafar Khan's army through his spices. The emperor's army is pressing the borders of Surat. He is punishing the kings and Thakors. Here, Thakor is a name of one of the caste of the Hindu Rajputs. No one has come out to stop his army, while on this side, Hamirji, Vegdaji and other warriors are waiting in the courtyard of Somnath. The priest and the townspeople of Prabhas are standing guard. Jafar Khan had to cross the barrier of Somnath. He got the news that some people would stand up and face him and his army with fearlessness, while Vegdaji camp was outside the temple of Somnath. Prabhas and Somnath were taken care of by Hamirji. Jafar Khan, who became intoxicated with the joy of victory, arrived right in the courtyard of Prabhas. The arrows of Vegdaji Bhils destroyed the imperial army. The arrows flying from the hands of the youth are causing havoc to the Muslim army. On one side, there is a strong desire to destroy the temple. On the other side, there is an immense desire to save the temple. Jafar Khan sitting on an elephant saw the army being destroyed and gave the order to move the cannons forward. At that time, the Bhil archers understood Jafar Khan's intentions. They started raining arrows from trees in the dense bushes surrounding Somnath. The Subhas, here Subhas gunners means the gunner of a platoon or company of an army gunner team. Gunners started firing at the cannons, shouting and shouting. Jafar Khan was even more furious. As the gunners died, he moved the second line forward. The number of Bhil soldiers started decreasing. Jafar Khan sent his chief with an elephant to fight with Vegdaji, and the trained elephant took Vegdaji by the trunk and killed him, and Vegdaji died there. On the other hand, Hamirji was protecting Somnath and Patan. As soon as Vegdaji was martyred, Jafar Khan army attacked the fort of Somnath. Hamirji was also alert. He made his arrows like burning fire. Also his soldiers thrown the stone balls on the enemy. Jafar Khan's soldiers who had reached the fort, they had to face pour boiling on their heads. Thus, the first attack was repelled. In the evening, Aarti was performed in the temple, and at that time, Hamirji gathered everyone and explained the strategy. Here, Aarti means a ritual of praying to Hindu goddess by the Hindu at every morning and evening of every day. Jafar Khan had surrounded Somnath from three sides, and on one side was the sea. The next morning, Hamirji and soldiers rode on horses and brutally speared the enemy elephants and made a very huge destruction of enemy, so that Jafar Khan's army was shaken. Jafar Khan had dug a tunnel in the base of fort to enter. Hamirji had poured water into it and made it useless. Thus, the war had been going on for 9 consecutive days. Hamirji, who had been facing Jafar Khan's army for 9 days in front of the fort of Somnath, now had only a few selected warriors left. All the warriors who had come under Hamirji's leadership to save Somnath from falling had gathered. On the night of the 9th day, Hamirji explained the strategy of the war. Tomorrow morning, when the sun rises out in sky, let immediately left the fort open and decorated it with saffron. Let everyone will be ready for tomorrow with the sound of Har Mahadev. In the morning, no one slept the whole night. Abil Gulal was flying in the temple of Somnath to sweeten the death. Here, Abil Gulal means the one kind of powder of pink colors which is used in India, mainly in Gujarat, at the time of any auspicious work. The heroes who were going to dying bloodbath within few hours did not let Lord Shiva sleep that whole night either. At dawn, Hamirji bade and worshipped Lord Shankara. They all equipped with weapons. Hamirji fell at the feet of Ai Lakbai and said, Ai Lakbai, give me your blessing. The time has come to listen to the sweet songs of death. The sound of the moments spread in the courtyard of the temple. Sitting on the bank and turning the garland in her hands, Ai Lakbai said, blessed are you, hero. You all have saved the honor of the dying manhood of Sorat. And she sang for him in Gujarati language like this way. Velo avyo veer sakhate somayatani hilolwami palani aniye bhimaut mathe mungi par kharu mosal vasavis somayane sis apiyu Arthila Dhani. Means of these in English: to protect the Somnath temple of Lord Shankar, the young and brave warriors Hamir arrived. Hamir was very courageous. He fought while holding a spear in his hand. He feared no one. On his head, he wrote a saffron-colored turban. In him were visible the virtues of his 20 generations of mother lineage. Veer Hamir upheld the honor of bravery of the Sorat region, made his name immortal. When Hamirji and his companions bathed the shivling with water, offered their last juhar to each other and entered the battlefield. Here, juhar means salute or greetings. In the evening, Hamirji's entire body was torn apart in the battle and became like a pieces. Even though a dozen swords fell on his head, he did not stop to fight and did not bow down to the enemies. The warrior who protected the shivling fell. Thus, in this battle, evening fell, Hamirji fell and Somnath was lost. At that time, I Lakhabai was watching from the ramparts of the fort and praising these brave warriors. She sang a hymn in Gujarati, singing as રડવડિયે રડિયા પાટણ પાર્વતી તણા કાંકણ કમળ પછે ભોયતાળા ભીમાઉત વેળ તુહારી વીર આવીને વાટી નહીં હાકમ તણી હમી ભેખટ હુતી ભીમાઉત. Means of these in English: Parvati of Patan was crying, that is goddess Parvati, the wife of Lord Shankar. The Queen Parvati of Somnath, Prabhas Patan, was weeping in sorrow over the attack on Somnath. She was expressing her grief openly before everyone due to deep sorrow. She sat down on the ground, addressing Hamir. She said, "O brave Veer, the time has now come. Do not retreat." After entering this battle, Hamir stood firm against the enemy Muslims. The situation before him was terrifying, and Hamir was a true warrior and remained unshaken without any fear. He confronted the enemy Muslim head on. Here, Shivling means the big 3 feet width and heavy god stone, which approximate height is 5 feet, to which the Hindus pray every day in Somnath. On the morning of the 10th day, as soon as sun rose, the gates of fort opened and Hamirji and his fellow warriors attacked Jafar Khan's army. Thus Jafar Khan was shocked by the sudden attack and started battle by assembling his army. On the other hand, Hamirji and his comrades who had gone out to meet their death, they showed great courage. By evening, they had pushed back the enemy army by 1.5 kilometers away from the temple site, and thus the battle of that day ended. On returning to the fort of Somnath, Hamirji saw that some of his comrades had their heads cut off, some had their legs cut off, and some had their intestines spilled out. And now only about 1.5 to 200 cameras were left. Hamirji decided with his comrades to fight the morning battle in the vicinity of Somnath. As soon as dawn fell, Jafar Khan attacked from the front. Hamirji decided without 1.5 to 200 cameras were left. Hamirji decided with his comrades to fight the morning battle in the vicinity of Somnath. As soon as dawn fell, Jafar Khan attacked from the front. Because he did not want to take much time, Hamirji fought like a lion on the battlefield. His sword struck terror into invading forces. Despite being heavily outnumbered, his warriors caused massive losses to the enemy. Historical and folk accounts describe that Hamirji continued fighting even after being gravely wounded. Veer Hamirji Gohil fought on even after his head was severed, holding it in his head until he finally collapsed near the temple. Jafar Khan's forces eventually overwhelmed them and desecrated the Somnath temple. Eventually, Veer Hamirji Gohil attained martyrdom on the battlefield. The enemy forces, though victorious, were deeply shaken by the resistance they faced. Though Somnath suffered damage once again, the sacrifice of Hamirji Gohil became immortal. His bravery inspired countless generations to resist oppression and protect their culture and spiritual heritage. Veer Hamirji Gohil sacrificed at such young age, defending the revered Somnath temple against overwhelming odds, immortalized him as to hero. His descendants continue to honor him, placing the flag of Somnath Mahadev at his center before installing it above the temple, a symbol of their eternal respect for a brave ancestor. This symbolic tale reflects the belief that his spirit was so strong that death itself could not stop his duty. He symbolized fearlessness, sacrifice, and devotion to Dharma. His name is often remembered alongside other great Hindu defenders who stood against invasion Despite impossible odds, Veer Hamirji Gohil, the warrior who chose martyrdom over the surrender. His story symbolizes Rajput valor and commitment to Hinduism, contrasting with the expansionist Sultan forces. He remembered as Kesari Veer, lion brave for his ultimate sacrifice. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Har Har Mahadev, Jai Somnath, Jai Somnath, Jai Somnath.